Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name's Landon, and here we play Jank. And I know I have Magic the Gathering cards in front of me. If you know anything about me, you know how I feel about Magic. But my local store, they had 7 players that wanted to play, and they asked me, more like begged, me to jump in there and play with them so that they could all play the format that they wanted to. Draft, right? They wanted to play draft, and they only had 7. They needed 8, apparently. So, I was like, fine, I'll go in, because the people at the game store are amazing. They've helped me out a ton. So I went in, and I played Magic the Gathering. Draft format. I have no idea what the set had or anything. I just paid the money, and started grabbing cards. And it turns out, I went undefeated. I don't know how I did it. I don't think I had the best deck there. I think I was lucky, and that was about it. That's all it was. I think it was first time beginner's luck. I've never done a Magic draft before. Back when I played Magic was like, oh man, almost 20 years ago now. Yeah. I had no idea what I was doing, but I figured it would be fun to go through what happened. Very similar to the Flesh and Blood video that I did. Man, this camera is shaky. Sorry about that. Very similar to the Flesh and Blood video I did. I figured I would just go through what I played and how it all went, right? So maybe I should have had this all laid out ahead of time. But I didn't, so oh well, we're dealing with it. It was a 3-color deck, which I've never played before. Back when I did play Magic, I would go 2 colors at most. I was a big fan of artifacts, and those are colorless. So if you count those, then sure, I've done 3 colors, 2 colors, and colorless, but that was always the most. However, the first card I pulled, I just grabbed because I thought the art was awesome, and it was green, white, and blue, and I gotta be coming up on it soon, right? I don't know. And yeah, so here is the deck. Oh man, I'm not gonna have enough space for all this, am I? Here's the first card I pulled. I just thought that art looked cool. You can see up in the corner, it's green, white, and blue, and it's got some effect that honestly confused everyone that I showed this to. I watched a YouTube video. It doesn't really help explain it any further. No one really knows how this card works, apparently. And that was the first one I grabbed, and from there, I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing green, white, blue, which was fun. For the most part, I won based off white being white. There was one match that I won by blue being blue. I have this one counterspell card in the deck because I hate counterspell. I think counterspell is the worst type of card in Magic the Gathering because it removes fun from the game. But it did win me the final match, basically. I think it was the final match, anyways. And, yeah. I've got this one green card in there. And it's a really cool green card, but, the real reason that I won is going to surprise, I think, everyone. Because it surprised everyone I played against. And the store owner, and all that stuff. So it surprised everyone. Here, we've got some more space on the camera. So we're going to go ahead, move things a little bit, so I can try to get the full deck out here. It might be difficult, though. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm talking about Magic the Gathering on a Pokemon channel. Jeez. I don't know what I'm doing. So, there we go. There we go. Move stuff over. Move stuff around, so the whole thing can get on camera, kind of. This was my deck. I don't know all the details, but I do know after I grabbed this, I started noticing a lot of cards that just said +1/+1 on them. This guy enters battlefield, gives a +1/+1 to someone. Let's see. This person, when they enter the battlefield, they give themselves a +1/+1, and they give me a little bit of card draw. I draw a card, and then I discard a card, and as long as I discard something that's not a land card, it gets a +1/+1. So a little bit of card draw, a little bit of +1/+1s. This guy, whenever he's a target of a spell, he gets a +1/+1. So target him with a spell, he gets stronger. This guy, it looks like I pay 3 and he gets a +1/+1. But through the same manner as that, to where I draw a card and then I discard a card, and then it gets a +1/+1 if I don't discard a mana, right? So I started seeing that synergy. And then I also saw, and this one was the big one, Broker's Initiate here. Initiate? I don't know. This cool cat here. You can see it's a 0/4, and as soon as the camera focuses, maybe if it's a little bit lower. Broker's Initiate has an ability where you pay 5, but one of those 5s has to be a white or a blue. No, a green or a blue, sorry. And you pay 5, and then this card becomes a 5/5 until end of turn. And so I would have Broker's Initiate, which is a 1-cost drop. You just pay 1 plane, put it out, you got a 0/4 wall that is very hard for your opponent to hit through. So we've got that. And then we have the ability to turn into a 5/5. So late game, you've got all these 0/4s out. Well, you pay 5, and one of them becomes a 5/5, and it can swing big. And that's really how I won. This Sky Crier guy also really helped. Flying means he can only be blocked by other flying creatures or creatures that have reach. So it was very hard for people to defend against him in a draft format. And it had life link, so anytime it deals damage, I get life based on how much damage it deals. So, it's a 1/1. 1 life. Whoop-de-doo. Well, you drop backup agent, and it becomes a 2/2. Okay, you're gaining 2 life and dealing 2 damage that they're finding it difficult to block. So, it all just kind of ramped from there. This guy, the Celestial Regulator, it's an angel advisor, I guess, but it has flying. But the important thing is that when this enters the battlefield, you choose a target creature you don't control. So it has to be an enemy creature. And you tap it, meaning it cannot block this turn anymore. And if you control a creature with a counter on it, any type of counter, which, yeah, I'm putting +1/+1s everywhere, the chosen creature doesn't untap during the controller's next untap phase. So I'm able to tap one of their creatures, and it stays tapped through their next turn. That means I get 2 turns of that creature being tapped, unable to block, so I'm able to swing through. I've got this one here, Security Bypass. I use this pretty well. And you attach it to a creature, and as long as the attached creature is attacking alone, it can't be blocked. So I would throw that on Sky Crier with a +1/+1. I've got 2/2 can't fly, or flying and can't be blocked, or I would throw it on, I threw it on this guy once. He's got double strike, which means when he's attacking, he hits twice. So I attached it to him, put a +1/+1 on him. He's hitting for 3. Can't be blocked, so he's actually hitting for 6 because double hit. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, it does that thing where you draw a card, discard a card, and as long as it's not a land, it gets a +1/+1. So next turn, that's a 4/4 that you can't block. So that's 8 damage. Next turn, that's a 5/5 you can't block. That's 10 damage. Between those 3 turns, I've taken out 20 hit points. You're gone, most likely. And just, it had certain things that really worked well together. I also, when I was drafting, after I drafted, I put a main focus on mana count. See, with Magic the Gathering, everything costs mana, and you can only play 1 mana per turn. So, we need more mana, and this is a draft format. 40 card decks, very small decks. You need to be able to pay for everything. So I put everything out in how much mana it costs. Took out the cards I can't play because I'm going with green, white, blue. I can't play red. I can't play black. So, took out those cards, and then took out a few others that didn't really seem like they would do anything with the other cards I have. So I took those ones out, and I basically took out everything that costs 4 or more. Anything I drafted that cost 4 or more, I was like, no, thank you. And left it with very cheap costing cards, because I did not want to get in a situation where I had cards and I couldn't play. I'm already playing 3 colors. Come on, right? I gotta get 1 of each color of mana out in order to function here. So I made sure that I grabbed this thing, which can count as forest, or plains, green or white, and I grabbed this thing, which lets, when you play it down, it basically goes away, and then you search your deck for a land, either a forest, plain, or island, which is the 3 colors I'm playing, and then this thing gets destroyed. I get that new mana out, but it's tapped, so I can't use it this turn, but I also gain 1 life, so that's awesome. I've got lifelink here, I'm gaining life here, I'm getting the lands I need out with this thing, and it all seemed to just work together. I have not played Magic in over 15 years. I think it's close to 20 years now. I got pressured into playing in a draft of a set that I have no idea what the theme is, but trust me, this theme is freaking awesome. It's like some sort of cyberpunk city with like different organizations running it. There's cat people, there's dog stuff, there's angels, there's an elf with a chainsaw. Like, there's some really cool stuff in this. I got this cat rogue character that gets me an extra mana. I pulled a holographic planes. I don't know, that's cool to me. This thing, windshield agent, like, that has some crazy holographicness on there, in my opinion. I've got all these cards now because I won. I got 4 extra packs. I'm not getting into Magic. Trust me, I'm not getting into Magic. I've already got Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, Warhammer, and give you a little sneak peek at next week's video. I'm looking at One Piece, okay? I do not have time, energy, or the drive to look into Magic. There was someone talking about Lorcana, and I know I've mentioned it before, but at this point, I don't think I have the energy to check out Lorcana as well. I'll play a game or something if someone brings decks, but I would rather get back into Magic than get into Lorcana right now. And I do not want to get back into Magic, right? I just did this as a favor for the store. My friends that are running it, I think they're my friends now. I don't know. You know, it's one of those weird things where they're friendly, they're awesome, they help me out, but they are also a store, so they charge me money to buy things from them, right? So, you know. Is your waitress really that friendly, or are they just being friendly to get a big tip, right? It's one of those situations. But no, I love my store. I think they're awesome, and I do think we're all friends. If I didn't think we were friends, I would not have spent $15 to play a game that I have no interest in, just so 7 other people can have fun, you know? And then I went and won the whole freaking thing. I went undefeated. It was an 8-person double elimination tournament, and I won the whole freaking thing undefeated. I did not lose a single match. Let's see. Yep, and I still have the spin down die that my friend gave me. This is my first spin down die. I am going to return it if he wants it, but if he doesn't, I guess this is my first spin down die. For those of you that don't know, it's a 20-sided die where the numbers are all next to each other. So, like, don't be playing, like, D&D with this or anything, but it's still pretty cool, you know? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. All the way from 20. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this. I played Magic the Gathering. I went undefeated. That's about it. Thank you so much for watching, putting up with my BS through this, and I hope you enjoyed kind of a look at a different game, a popular game, one of the most popular games on the market, but I do not play it, and I ended up winning the whole thing, which I don't understand how. I was really hoping I would just lose 2 matches, be kicked out of the tournament, and go home. But no, I had to stick around through so many rounds just to go undefeated, win the whole thing, get 4 extra packs of cards. I don't know what they do. And, like, I don't know, can I sell them? I don't know. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to the channel so you can check out Pokemon, which I think is a much superior card game. And, man, I'm going to pick fights with that one. And go ahead and join the Discord where we got a bunch of awesome deck builders and we're discussing some awesome things. So check that out. And, of course, until next time, keep playing Jank.